Alright, if you want to lose 30 pounds by the end of the year, copy this. This is the same program that I took my client Lee through to lose 30 pounds in 100 days. And as a matter of fact, it was so powerful for him that he ended up losing 82 pounds total just by following the steps here today. So if you want to lose fat fast and you want to do it in a very effective way and you want to have permanent transformation, these steps are for you. I've laid this video out in a way that it is easy to understand and it is step by step so that you can install this into your life without any of the bull crap that's out there. So with that, let's get into step number 1, and that's going to be the first part of this program, and it is about setting your target. So for you, you want to look to lose about 2 pounds per week. Now what this means is that you'll need to hit about a 1,000 calorie daily deficit. This will come from a combination of both food reduction and metabolic enhancement, which I'll get to in steps 3 and 4. So the way you want to set that up is first by establishing how many calories you need to eat. The simplest way to do it is to take your body weight right now and multiply it by 12. This will give you roughly a 500 calorie deficit. And once calories are set up, it's time to start with protein. For protein, I want you to hit about 0.7 grams per pound of body weight in a day. So for example, you take your body weight, for Lee is 240 pounds, multiply it by 0.7, which gave him 168 grams of protein per day. These are going to be the two main metrics that you track. You're going to track your calorie intake and your protein. Your carbs and fat can be a mixture. They don't have to be, 150 carbs and 20 grams of fat every day. You're going to be able to balance these out just to give you a little more flexibility in your program. As long as you hit your calorie and protein targets, that's what truly matters. Now with that, there's a caveat. I do recommend that you don't go below 20% of total fat just for hormonal support. And I also recommend that you don't go below 120 grams of carbs per day just to keep your energy levels and your metabolism firing. One big change of this program and things that I preach to people is that I want you to have a good animal-dense breakfast within 90 minutes of waking with at least 30 grams of protein. So the reason for breakfast upon waking is that it will help balance your cortisol response. 2, it's going to help to balance your blood sugar throughout the day, and it's going to make it to where you have less cravings as a result. You feel like you just get a shot of Ozempic if you eat a nice big breakfast like I'm about to tell you. And finally, you get your metabolism firing. It allows your body to produce adequate testosterone and thyroid in order to keep the metabolic rate going all day long. Now an example of a breakfast here would be about 3 to 5 eggs, some Greek or skyr yogurt, and you can throw in some mixed berries, honey, and a side of black coffee in order to enjoy your meal. Have this within 90 minutes of waking and you will really see benefits when it comes to controlling your hunger. In continuing to master nutrition, I think it's important to keep a very basic food list. You don't want a ton of options out there. You just want a few select items that you can eat, repeat, and eat consistently. So here's an example on screen here of the ones that I recommend, which can entail like lean beef, fruits, vegetables, potatoes, honey. These things help you, and they are very nutrient-dense whole foods that optimize the body in order for you to make this transformation happen and to control your hunger and all of your hunger hormone signals. And if you want an expanded list, you can download my high energy diet model down below, which will give all these foods in detail for you to see it, as well as what not to eat at the same time. Very helpful if you print that out and have it on your refrigerator when it comes towards making your meals. Now with our food list, we do want to have flavor and variety, but not in a way that we just add in a ton of different sauces off of the grocery store shelf. We want to be targeted with this, and what I would recommend is that you season your meals with real seasonings. So salt, pepper, herbs, all those things are good because they're 0 calories and they make your meal very flavorful, making it to where you enjoy the meal that you're eating. It's very important in a diet to be able to eat your food and enjoy it. Now, in addition with sauces, instead of like these fattening, oil-based sauces like mayonnaise and such, we want to use lower calorie variants like mustard or hot sauce or salsa. These things are low calorie and they're still very tasty, making your foods have plenty of variety without changing the composition of the meal when it comes towards its calorie intake. And one hack for variety to keep things fresh if you are somebody who gets bored eating these same foods, I've got something special here. So all you're gonna do is just have like your basic meal combination that you eat every day off that list. So for example, beef and potatoes. You'll keep that the same every day, but you will end up switching the sauces when it comes towards it, so you feel like you're eating a whole new meal every time. For example, let's say that you have beef and potatoes with ketchup and pickles, and it's like this burger type of variety thing. Maybe get burnt on that. Let's go to the Mexican variety and have some taco seasoning and a little bit of salsa and shredded lettuce on the other day. That's whole 2 different meals, but it barely changes the calorie composition, making it very easy for adherence. The next step here is that I want you to meal prep twice a week. Pick 2 days in order to do this when you have about 1 hour to cook your foods in bulk. I always recommend Wednesdays and Sundays just because it's right split in the middle of the week and you typically have more time available on those days. Now finally with mastering nutrition, there's 2 things that you might hate me for now, but you will love me for at the end of the year. The first thing is that I want you to stop eating out. I tell people this all the time, that you can either eat out or you can have a 6-pack. You can't have both. So for now, I want you to reduce as much as possible the times when you do eat out. Start cooking all of your own food and making it very easy for this time on yourself so that you can go into the next year the best version of you and the leanest version of you. In addition to that, I'd also recommend that you quit alcohol. And really, it's not the fact that alcohol itself is bad. We can have that discussion another day. But really, alcohol is just bad because of the choices you make when you drink it. I don't know about you, but for me, if I have a few drinks, I'm making pretty bad food choices, and that burger and fries looking extra delicious that night. The next day, I'm waking up and definitely getting brunch and more mimosas. So for now, quit the alcohol, let's get lean. Now the next thing is all about your training and the exercise that you do. I'm gonna split this up into two different things. One's gonna be your training that you treat like a job and you go get it done regardless. And two is that you're gonna do something fun, that's enjoyable, that you love to do, that doesn't feel like a burden. I'm gonna start with the job first, and that's gonna be your strength training. 3 times a week, I want you to be in the gym for around 45 minutes doing this exercise program right here. You can go ahead and screenshot these and you just follow along with them. I'm not gonna explain the exercises because they are relatively simple to do, but if you would like more advice, you can type these in online and you can see examples of them. Go ahead and screenshot these. I'll scroll through here right here for you. Pick your time. Screenshot it, hope you did. Now, with that exercise program, I want you every week to progress in either weight, rep, or form. Every week, just do one thing better each time. Since you are following this one program until the end of the year and you continually get better, you will compound your results in ways that you cannot possibly imagine right now. So stick with it, don't change anything up, and repeat this every day. Treat it like a job, and this is your job to do. Now on the other side, we do have things that are more fun. They're not gonna take a lot of discipline to do, you're gonna be more motivated to do it, and it's gonna help you to burn fat even more. As part of that, it's 2 different ways. And the first thing is gonna be getting walks after your meals. So if you're eating 3 to 4 times a day, you take a 10-minute walk afterwards, that is a good 30 to 40 minutes of cardio that you do not even have to think about doing. You naturally incorporate it into your routine, it doesn't feel like a burden, and you're also outside in the day getting a rest break that you would need anyways, helping you to stay adherent to your plan. In addition, I also want you to do things that are enjoyable. And as an example, Lee loved pickleball. He went out twice a week and was playing with friends and in the community and playing for 1 to 3 hours, just enjoying and having a great time. As a result, this sped up his fat loss significantly, and he did not even feel like he was feeling disciplined to do it. He was in flow, enjoying himself, and it just felt as if everything was more fun to do. Now that diet and training is covered, let's get into environment and more specific metabolic enhancements. The first part about this is getting sunlight, specifically for the activation of alpha melanocyte stimulating hormone. This is a hormone that helps control your food intake, your energy expenditure, and also your food reward pathway system. So just by getting outside in the sun, you release this hormone which makes you better able to adhere to a diet plan, helps to boost metabolism, and overall make you move more without really doing anything else. In addition, you also get your vitamin D from here. Vitamin D is very critical when it comes towards regulating phallus hormones like leptin and ghrelin, but in addition, anabolic ones that are like testosterone and thyroid. That combination is wonderful, and the best thing about it, you only need to do this for 20 minutes a day. And while you're outside, you're also going to be doing this. You're going to be getting fresh air. Just by getting fresh air, you're going to increase the metabolic rate with the oxygen that's coming in and also helping you to lower cortisol levels, which will help release some of that stored stubborn fat that you are having a hard time getting rid of. Now, this is my favorite metabolic improvement that I help people with, and that's just getting zinc and selenium. There's a study that's been showed that when people supplement with zinc and selenium, they increase their metabolic rate by 440 calories a day, just by getting those micronutrients met. So you can supplement with these directly, or you can be an absolute beast and start eating oysters 1 to 3 times a week, have a canned oyster or fresh raw oysters and go to town on them. When you do this, you get a ton of bioavailable zinc, selenium, copper, B12, things that accelerate the body and boost metabolism in very powerful ways. Now, as a swap, when your food, I want you to add in the oysters, at the same time, get rid of all the junk. Let's design the house and have it to where there's going to be more friction towards having those junky processed foods that you most likely have in the cabinets. So I want you to do this and take this action step as a start, as a signal that you are committed. Go to your pantry today and go clean it out. Start throwing away that crap, get rid of it, and say, you know what, I'm gonna choose myself instead of that junk food from this corporation, okay? And really it comes down to this simple rule: out of sight, out of mind. If you don't see it, it's not within your reach, you're not gonna grab it out of a habitual response. All right, now that we have all the basics out of the way, we're gonna get into the most important part, and that's the inner game. This is where it's won, and really it comes down to this simple thing, is that you want to be accountable and believe in yourself when it comes towards achieving this goal. With that, you want to have very small things that you can see that give you that reward that it knows you are making progress towards this goal. The first part of that is tracking these metrics. So once a week, I want you to sit down and do this. Measure your waist around your belly button. You're going to take 4 pictures from the front, the back, side to side, and you're also going to say, what is my energy levels on a scale of 1 to 10? And with making that happen, you also want to have high accountability. So really, you can get an accountability partner. You can be accountable with yourself, but if you're overweight, you're probably having a little struggle with that. That's how I was. And finally, you could hire it out. This is what I do with people mainly, is just really stick towards getting them accountable and make sure that they follow through on what they tell me. With that being said though, there's one thing that can help you be accountable, and that's the one-step behavior change method. All I want you to do right now is pick one habit that you can commit to that could change everything. Lee struggled with getting up in the morning. He would hit snooze and it would have like this cascading effect on the day to where he'd be stressed, hurried, and rushed. Then he gets cardio in and it made it very, very difficult for him. So we ended up setting one behavior change that he would stick to, and that was to wake up at 7 a.m. and have a 10-minute rule. They'd have to get out of bed and couldn't snooze beyond that. As a result, that created a domino effect throughout the day. He was able to get up, get his breakfast in, he did a little bit of walking, he was able to not feel stressed getting to work, and it made life a lot easier to stick to this program. So what is one habit that you can commit to doing to change your behavior above everything else? Pick the one domino effect to make all of this happen. And now moving on to the last 2 things, these are more less physical and more spiritual in a sense, but it's the fact that fat is going to be a releasing of stored emotional baggage. If you think about it, fat is stored energy. Energy is energy in motion. If you release any stored emotions in your body, like fear, stress, trauma, guilt, and you release this psychologically, you release it physically. So if there's a way that you can journal or talk with a therapist, talk with a friend, you're going to be able to undercover what's really holding you back, and as a result, you're going to allow fat to come off easier. Now, the last thing I want you to do is to embrace the feeling of what it's going to be like whenever you do hit this goal. Think about this. If you hit this 30 pounds lost, how are you going to feel at the end of this year? Probably more confident. You're going to feel proud of yourself. You're going to be more joy. You're going to feel grateful for everything that's happened. So now I want you to start embodying those emotions. Every day, start rehearsing and practicing what it'd feel like if you were already lean. Start having that identity change now and get your behaviors to match your intentions, which is everything that we just talked about. So follow through with this, apply this into your life, and let me know if you notice one thing in this video that's gonna help change you and get you towards that goal. So that's it for this one. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.